guilty pleasures are like, I didn't know it was applicable to other things beyond movies and TV shows and video games, this sort of stuff. I just found out yesterday. They were basically saying that we feel guilty for enjoying something that quote unquote isn't supposedly right to enjoy because we are afraid of being judged. To me, that's something I felt for a long time. I enjoy a lot of stuff that is considered bad quality, weird, low budget B movies and a lot of trash stuff.
I think what a lot of the guilty pleasure stuff comes down to is that not everything has to be high art, and that we don't need to feel ashamed for not constantly consuming high art. Not everything has to be this like artful masterpiece that we're watching. We are in different moods at different times, so yeah, sometimes I am going to want to watch this artful masterpiece of a film, but sometimes, especially I think like coming home from a day of work, whatever, you're tired, you're mentally tired, even if you're not mentally tired, honestly, but there is no shame and no reason to feel like you have to defend yourself because you're enjoying something that is not extremely intelligent. And then it also, from I think from the filmmaker perspective of like, if you're not creating this highly intelligent work, what does that mean? Does that mean that your work is less valuable? No, people still need that and still love that and still enjoy that. Have the both of you seen The Studio?
No, I still haven't seen it.
No, I've only seen clips. Yeah.
Highly recommend. There's one episode where Seth Rogen, who plays the studio head, his girlfriend is a doctor, and they're at this gala with all her doctor friends to raise money for like kids with cancer or something. They're kids with cancer doctors. And so at this point in time, Seth is like furiously texting and like having to take calls about this film where I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like a film where zombies shoot out diarrhea, and that's how you get infected. The next one. So he's having to defend this film to these doctors who cure pediatric, that's what it's called, cancer, of saying like, no, what I do is important too.
That's honestly my favorite thing about art, is that as long as it is a pure expression of human emotion, it is by definition art.
So Picasso's Guernica and the Emoji Movie are both art. That's what you're saying.
Is The Godfather not art?
No, obviously The Godfather is art.
Well, there you go.
Like, honestly, they were out of line. They were so mean to him about it. But, like, they're laughing at him like, oh, like, yeah, that's high art. That's important. We cure cancer. If you ever see me in a film set, I'll always be like, everybody calm down. We're okay. We're not curing cancer. It's not a big deal. Like, we could take our time. It's not worth, like, losing our heads over. While watching that episode, I'm like, movies are important. It doesn't matter if it's diarrhea shitting zombies or something super highbrow. They both bring us so much love and enjoyment, and you never know like how that film is gonna hit someone where they are in life. Sometimes you need zombies shitting diarrhea, and that's fine.
No, you definitely do, especially if you're somebody like Gwen. I don't know if you know, but Nace and I are really like big fans of like zombie TV shows and movies, and like we love them so much that we honestly are planning for any possible zombie apocalypse that could happen in real life. So movies like that, if for some reason there's a bunch of shitty zombies that are attacking the world, people like Nace and I and our friends need to watch those things so we can be like, okay, this is what I would do in that scenario, this is what I wouldn't do. And I think that just makes us, you know, like creative people in life crisis situations.
Yes, and I will say studies have shown that preparing for a zombie scenario does make you more prepared for like actual emergencies and like, you know, like tornadoes or stuff like that, because you're like, oh, I have my little zombie to-go pack or whatever, you know, even though it's like funny, you're like, oh, I'll grab the cans and I'll do this. Well, now that it's not zombies but a tornado or a hurricane or whatever, you're actually doing the exact same thing that you would have done, and because you rehearsed it for the zombies, it's for real life. But I think that applies to a lot of things, not just like zombie media, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff where even if it seems silly in the moment, by going through that laughter or those emotions or whatever it is in your head for that media, it does have a positive effect in your life somewhere else. So art is art is art. Everyone who uses the word guilty pleasure needs to stop. Ta-da!
Yeah, like you said, it's something that makes us feel good, and I don't know why we should be feeling bad because of it. Like you said at the beginning, we don't need to enjoy high art constantly. We don't need to be constantly critically thinking about everything we enjoy. Like,
Yes.
it's good to critically think about stuff. All the time is just tiring. You just can't
Yeah.
enjoy something fully if you think about it critically every single
agree.
second.
At the end of the day, it got made for a reason. So like, it needs an audience, and we're their audience. So
Like I said, I'm used to enjoying stuff that is not considered good. Like, when I was a kid, I used to spend a lot of times in the early days of YouTube just watching trailers for shitty B movies made by Asylum. Not because I thought they were good, but because, I don't know, they were just the right kind of silly I needed for that moment. There were some stuff that was like, oh my god, this is so bad, but I don't know why I'm enjoying doing this, but I don't know, it brought me comfort. I used to enjoy a lot of these kind of movies.
have you ever seen the 2006 film Idiocracy?
Idiocracy, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
If you want a really like dumb movie, I recommend Idiocracy. We gave it a try, and it was really, really, really dumb, and we enjoyed parts of it, but like we couldn't commit to the full thing. But I would recommend that one. So if you do decide to watch Idiocracy, please do let us know what you think of it.
All right.
Yeah, and the title matches the tone. It's pure Idiocracy for sure.
All right. I guess this is in my watch list from Letterboxd. I think it is. It is. All right.
Is
I'll
it?
watch it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Yes. Please let us know.
Have you seen any Trauma Studios films, Wen?
Yeah, I've seen Class of Nukem High, I guess.
Yeah, Class of Nukem High.
Yeah, the one the guy gets high and he gets a mega boner, something like that. That scene
Yep.
was weird, but it
They're
was
all weird.
fun.
Something I will praise Trauma Studios for is their entire ethos around filmmaking. And I don't want to get too far into it because they are known for some really unethical filmmaking practices. But at least in the finished films, I will only talk about the finished films, it is very much this ethos of, we're just going to make the fucking films. They're going to be cheap. They're going to look cheap. They're going to sound like shit. The costumes are going to be bad. But it's fun and you're going to enjoy it. And they're actually right, because they have such a cult following, so many huge fans of Trauma Studios film. I get, like, the proof's in the pudding that you don't need to have a gazillion dollars and a good script or good actors or good
Exactly.
costumes.
Exactly.
It sounds like I'm shitting on it, but I'm not.
Honestly, you just need a group of people that are like down to support your bad idea. Like that's what it comes down to. Is like, if you can convince this crew and this cast and these people to go along with this, you have something. That's all you really need, is to convince a bunch of people, and that proves it right there that you have your audience and you have people that are gonna watch it. So
That's right.
Absolutely.
I did a video a while back called the B movie feel of survival horror games, and like I go deep into this notion of what makes a B movie feel like a B movie, and I talked about like how we feel that something that is considered not very artistic is totally valid, because these movies have this feel, this unique vibe to them, because they are made by people who just care about making movies. They love making movies. They like the art. They like doing stuff with people. No matter how low the quality is, they just got there and did the thing they wanted, and they enjoyed it. And you can feel that through the movie, even though it's not that good. And I think that's what matters in the end, I guess.
I agree.
I want to bring it back because you briefly mentioned Letterboxd earlier, and Letterboxd, it's become a space.
Yeah.
It's become a space where people have to, it seems like, kind of justify their taste. So, and I think Letterboxd started out with very idealistic goals of like, just talk about the films you love, and that's great. And a lot of people do use it that way. But I think especially with like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, like, they're fucking cops, okay? They're cops of all kinds, but specifically of taste, of what's okay, of what's not okay. And so I find that that Letterboxd kind of becomes that kind of space where you click on a certain film, and if we've all decided we have to shit on this film, now we all have to shit on this film. If we've all decided this is what's considered a good film, this is all what we're considering is a good film. And then it comes down to, I think, factors that are ultimately irrelevant. So like you'll see some, and I haven't seen Marty Supreme yet, but you'll see like some reviews of Marty Supreme, like he's a bad person, he did bad things with because, you know, white privilege. And I'm like, that's okay.
That's not new.
That's
not new at all.
okay.
They've been doing that since the start of film. There's been a topic. So,
but like the end result of that review will saying it's a bad film. I'm like, we're allowed to have films about bad people doing bad things. That doesn't mean the film is telling you that it's okay to be about, you know, like just like I think getting like certain like wires crossed and like confused, and then but that's what they feel like they have to say. I don't actually fucking care. I don't think you fucking care. I think you feel like you need to say that about this film on the internet to get your woke points or to get your
like an activist, low-key. Like that's your activism point for the day.
One thing I want to say is that like the term guilty pleasure, it reinforces like consumption or or taste as something that's socially enforced instead of like personal to you. And so because of that, and because the way that Gen Z and Gen Alpha are fucking cops, I think the term guilty pleasure is poised for a comeback. They hate anything cringe, they hate anything that's not what you're supposed to like or supposed to do. And so again, even if they don't call it guilty pleasure, I do see this whole ideology, but I think it's poised for a comeback, unfortunately. Advice, don't let these fucking kids do it to you, okay? Like what you like, fuck those kids. Ignore them. Don't be on TikTok. I don't know.
I think when people like they talk about guilty pleasures and they get to criticize or talk about certain things that are not perfect, they usually criticize these movies for all the wrong reasons. Like, oh, the movie it's campy, it has bad visual effects. Like, man, that's the juice.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
For example, I'm a huge Godzilla fan. Like, I've watched all 38 Godzilla movies at least twice each. And like, the old movies, they don't have a really high production value
at all.
But like, that's the good part of it. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
And people criticize them because of that. Like, no, like there are some of the old movies that have really bad screenwriting and they are boring to watch, even with the whole silly stuff. But like, people criticize them because of their technical issues, and no, that's not the point of
the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. Exactly. The thing about Letterboxd is that I enjoy using it solely to register the movies I've watched, because I watch a lot of movies during the year and sometimes I forget what I watched, so I need Letterboxd to help me remember. But like I tend to see a lot of like meme reviews, like they talk about a movie and they don't say anything about it. They just say a very smart ass phrase, and like, this movie has a lot of stuff in it that's the best you could think about. Like, sometimes I post those kind of quotes, but it's just if I really don't have much to say about the film. Unless I have a lot to say about it, I make a full review about it. My most recent example was with the new Avatar movie. The thing is, a lot of the people who watch these films are not going them to think about the subject, even though it is important.
Yeah.
I remember a time where people used to be kind of ashamed to admit that they enjoyed the first film, because it's a prime example of a movie that has a lot of production value, but it doesn't have a really good script and like and such. The whole thing of has no cultural impact. We are the third movie. It's going to the top 10 of box office.
Yeah. Isn't there a fourth one? There's another one coming out, right? This is not the last we've seen of it.
I think there's like 5 total. Out. They're just shitting those thing out.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I mean,
people are dying.
I've only seen the first one. This is very just like, it's just a bunch of blue people fighting. I know it's deeper than that, but that's how I take it. I'm like, just a bunch of blue people that got beef with each other, and that's all I got.
I would say the deepness of the subject matter doesn't actually come from the film itself, but its implications outside of it. And there's a creator that has made a more in-depth video on this that I will try to find so we can have it in the description. But essentially what it boiled down to was that Get Out and Avatar are the exact same films. One is made... Hold on! The exact same films that ask the same question. What if white people could jump inside the bodies of people of color, indigenous people, black people? A black person said, that's fucking terrifying, I'm gonna make a horror film. A white man said, that'd be fucking dope, and I'd have sex with them and they'd love me, and that's what Avatar is.
No, that's amazing. That's a great take.
That movie was kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
you know?
I think because if it's not, I think there's a difference when it's like, for like Get Out, for example, that's real people versus fantasy. You can do that detachment where it's like, oh no, this is just a magical, spectacular like fantasy world. So because it's fantasy sci-fi, I don't have to take it that seriously and think that deeply from it. But no, like, when you put it side by side, no, that is the same shit. So very good point.
Yeah, there's something about this third movie that annoyed the hell out of me, because like the main character Jake has a lot of kids, and one of them is connected to the planet in some deep way. It's bizarre because the indigenous people of the planet can't connect deeply with their entity as deep as Jake's daughter, and I'm like, dude.
And he's not even fully from there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I'm
he's
like,
0% from
get
there.
out of here.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more problematic I see it is.
Yeah.
And it's something that in a conversation, if I didn't want to admit that I find some enjoyment watching it, I'd say it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Because like...
We don't use that word on Barbie.com.
Yeah, it's fantasy world. I like seeing weird animals, things from space. And in the end, it's the only reason I'm still going to these movies at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But-
well, then that connects to what we were talking about, right? About how it's like you're separating the film from real life and your morals and stuff. It's like, I'm watching this and I'm well aware of like what's wrong with this morally and all that stuff. But like you said, when like you're watching it because you enjoy the fantasy, you're enjoying it, and at the end of the day, it's just a movie that you want to throw on. It doesn't define who you are as a person. It's just a film at the end of the day. So even though we just spent the past 5 minutes shitting on Avatar, feel no shame about liking it. It's totally fine. No judgment. Totally fine.
I got a part from this website called NPR from the text. Why We Love Guilty Pleasure So Much. It was written by Rachel Carlson. She says, quote, "Nobody says opera is my guilty pleasure because that is something that we think of as very well respected and important and associated with whiteness and the upper class," she says. But often these other things that we refer to as guilty pleasures have these moral and social values to them that are often associated with marginalized people in our culture. And I thought this was very interesting. She mentions reality TV, and I thought it just matched with what you said. Like, it's
Absolutely.
totally right.
But I think if we were to like kind of reframe how the term guilty pleasure is used, I would say that it'd be good for us to move it away from just what is like guilty pleasure being used for something that's not considered highbrow enough, or especially when we were growing up, like in the US, like it was overwhelmingly used for things that women like. Quote unquote chick flicks and reality TV, those were the guilty pleasures, right? So moving it away from this elitist and sexist framing over to it's a guilty pleasure because this is actively harmful media, but like, I don't know, it's kind of fun, you know? Like, so like Avatar, or like something, like a film that is by a terrible, bad person filmmaker. So like, Everyone Still Loves Rosemary's Baby. That, I think we can call that a guilty pleasure. Roman Polanski needs to burn in hell.
Every time I see a scene that just reminds me of Roman Polanski being a predator, I'm like, oh god, man! Like, why is this movie good? And why is the person
attached to it suck?
The first Jeepers Creepers too. I love that movie.
Yeah, me too.
But I think for these types of films that are made by legitimate predators, convicted predators, I would like to encourage people to just watch it.
You can say that.
Like,
I don't think
I'm gonna say this as a Brazilian man. We here in Brazil, we don't care much about watching movies legally because most of us watched movies illegally. We grew up watching movies illegally because the ticket for the cinema here is not that cheap. And like DVDs were not cheap, so most of us here watched movies, pirated movies. And we have this whole culture of watching pirated movies. It's not something that people outside of here approve that much, but we do that a lot.
You know, in the early days, we had bootleg DVDs. So like, it's I miss bootleg. That was a throwback. So I couldn't see it in movie theaters, but my cousin on the corner, he got it. You know, he got the DVD. It's a little blurry and the sound's not all that great, but it's the film.
Dude,
you can still watch it. I would say when it comes to like guilty pleasure, if I had to like still use the word, I would associate that with reality TV. Just because, and the thing is like, I love reality TV. I eat that shit up. Like I watch reality TV with that knowledge, knowing that like how heavily produced that it is, that I'm just enjoying what the producers did. I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. I caught that cut, but that's just me coming from film and TV, having the full awareness of the production behind it, versus other people who like just watch it just to watch it, which also is like no shame. Watch it, laugh, judge, do what you want. Because I feel like that's what reality TV is for. It's for us to judge and laugh and just see the foolishness side of TV. But like, why feel guilty about it? They have whole channels that are like reality TV channels. So like, where's the guilt? Because we all love it, you know? Mm-hmm.
You can say the exact same thing for opera. Opera does that exact same fucking thing. It's truly just elitism. It's truly just arbitrarily deciding, well, opera is good and smart, but reality TV isn't. It's the same shit. Opera and reality TV shows are the same thing. That's my hot take today.
You're totally right, because like I'm also a theater actor. Opera is campy as hell. Like it's very campy. When you're not seeing people screaming at the top of their lungs, they are doing something that is very, very, very whimsy. Like it has a lot of whimsy to it, and I don't know. It's like sad. It's supposed to be very melodramatic, and people tend to see melodrama as something that has low value. But opera has a lot of value. Why is it considered more highbrow than normal melodrama?
Color.
Yeah.
So, but when you talk about reality TV, like especially like the early days of reality TV was heavily like a lot of like black people. So you had like Flavor of Love, I Love New York, and so people automatically associate, oh, people of color, low bar, trashy. They are doing trash things because honestly those shows were really trashy. So that set the stable for reality TV equals you need to be guilty. You need to like feel shame around watching this. This is guilty pleasure. This is a bad representation of society. And then you get more spin-offs, and then you get people, white people that are in it. They don't get the same degrading like commentary that the black shows get. So like there's like the Real Housewives, for example. Like there's like 15 spin-offs of that, and like 3 of them are of people of color, and those 3 are the ones that people are like, oh, that's trash. They're always fighting. They're always this. I've watched some of the other Real Housewives where it's predominantly white. No shade. They be going crazy, like talking about
waking up in the morning,
thinking about so many things.
I just wish things would get better.
I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to stay the same.
That was a cry for help from that little girl.
Like it's insane.
One thing that I think you guys don't enjoy as much, but we Brazilians eat that shit up, are Adam Sandler movies.
I fuck with a good Adam Sandler movie. I fuck with some of those.
Yeah, growing up, I really like those.
In Brazil, we love his movies. Like, we watch them a lot. It's a sort of comedy that appeals to us in a lot of levels. Like, I know that when I started to get in contact with people from outside Brazil, and they said that they didn't like Adam Sandler movies, I was like, why? Like, I know it's not... I know the jokes aren't really that great. They are very cliche jokes and that sort of stuff. But it's this sort of joke we tend to enjoy here.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler film?
Grown Ups. That's the one.
Nice. That was good.
And like, I don't think that movie is any good, but I laugh a lot watching it.
That was a good ensemble. Yeah, that was a good one.
I acknowledge that it's not a really good movie. It doesn't even have a real story, but
At all.
it's funny. It's funny.
It is. It is. That's a good one. Yeah, my favorite is Click. Have you seen Click? That's my favorite. That's my that one. That was good. That was a good
really
one.
good.
Yeah. It also was a little sad. Not gonna lie. Like the ending, like when his dad passes away, that touched that got me. I was like, oh, Adam's doing a little emotion, got a little drama. Okay. Yeah. I think like as kids, like we don't have the pressure of any of this shit, right? Like we just watch stuff and be a kid. And they say balance is. They say when you're a kid, you should have balance. It's like, okay, this is for school time, but you also need to be a kid and be free. As an adult, you must always work. You must always think. You must always want to expand. You must always like have to be in go mode and be like, what is the deeper meaning of life? And like that's why people have anxiety and their nervous systems are overshot.
But I think it goes back to Christianity as well, the whole guilt thing, and like how both things are very connected to each other. That whole bullshit talk about, oh, the work makes you grow up as a person and that sort of stuff. Like, no, man. Like, I don't need to grow up as a person every single time I'm watching a movie or consuming art.
Exactly. I agree. Honestly, instead of calling it guilty pleasure, just call it like lighthearted watch or like an easy watch or a comfort show. Like these are all the things like that you could put aside from guilty pleasure. So
absolutely, it feels very like. Can we talk about the socioeconomic state of the world right now?
Oh my God! Like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
No. I've seen it every day.
Go to television for that. Like, go watch the news if you want to do that. Go read a newspaper if you want that. I just want to watch a movie and eat my popcorn.
Absolutely.
And be chilling. So, but I think it's one of those things of like all of us are filmmakers, and so we have that appreciation level to it, right? There's some things that I watch with the knowledge of the industry behind it, which is also the same thing like when we watch things and understand that it's meant to be scrappy, it's meant to look this way because this is how the filmmaker intended it to, and as filmmakers ourselves, we respect that. When a lot of people who are judging these things don't know shit about production, don't know anything about what it takes to put a film together and the different qualities that go into it. So they're just going to judge it based as a regular consumer. So I think that's also, which I mean, you don't have to understand film to like I'm not saying like filmmakers should be the only ones giving out opinions, but I just think that it is a factor in a lot of these critiques that come from it. Is like people are expecting it to be like a Marvel movie or like a superhero movie where it's like this high production value and stuff. Like honestly, like no shade to Marvel, but it honestly is Marvel's fault. Like they flooded, they gave like the Gen Z and Alpha were like grew up with Marvel movies, so like that's like their big thing. So anything lower than that is like this is the best they could do with what we have today. And it's like you guys, it took a while for us to get to this level. You know that, right? Like not all filmmakers have access to Marvel Studios budget. Like. So that's another thing.
That one of the reasons that here in Brazil a lot of us consume a lot of American media instead of Brazilian media, it is because Hollywood constructed this whole culture around us. And like there's something that we call here in Brazil that I have to translate the name. Wait a second. It is called mongrel syndrome. And it is a syndrome that is about Brazilians that basically hate Brazil. And they hate everything we do. And they just love things that the United States does. That includes movies. And like here in Brazil, we don't have a lot of financing for filmmaking, a lot of stuff. It's pretty difficult to be a filmmaker in Brazil. And a lot of stuff we do is very independently. It's a lot of guerrilla filmmaking. At times, the government comes with some projects that finance a lot of other projects, being that movies, theater, circus, dance, etc. It's something that very much influenced us in the way we see movies. Like, it's very common you see a Brazilian film that was made with a very low budget. It doesn't look that great, but it's made with honesty and sincerity and artistry. but a lot of people will watch it and say like, that looks like shit. Like this American movie right here, it is much better than this. And like, dude, what did you expect? We didn't have the money.
Right, like I don't.
But I will say, I don't blame Marvel for it. I blame parents. Parents don't curate what their kids are watching like they used to. The kids aren't watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail, so they never learn that you can enjoy stuff that costs $3. That's true. The parents get lazy. Watch Avengers. So they only watch stuff that costs $40 gazillion, and that's all they're used to and all they've seen. So then when they're 15 and you try to show them Monty Python's gonna stay my example, they go, what? They can't do it. But if they had gotten like a good diet of different media as a kid, just a range of fucking everything, then I think they would better be able to curate their own personalities as adults, because as they get older, because I feel like kids these days ain't got no personality. It's a different conversation.
She just loves shitting on kids.
I'm shitting on the youth. I'm sorry. It's not even their fault. Truly, it's all their parents' fault. I blame their parents. I blame whose parents right now? Millennials. It's the millennials' fault.
Yeah.
You're a millennial, so it's your fault. Even though you don't have kids.
I don't have a kid. Girl, my kid's media diet would be so finely curated, okay? This kid would be watching just such a beautiful spread of everything. Physical media people, you need to be buying DVDs, so Netflix can't scrub your show.
Yeah, physical media is where it's at. Yeah. Stack up your collection, get a collection, because you honestly never know. Honestly, it's also good because like when Wi-Fi goes, what are people gonna do? They don't like your Wi-Fi out. I can't watch anything. Oh my god, my brain. Hop in that DVD and watch something. We are prepared for anything. Diarrhea zombies, bring it on. Okay.
Bring it full circle. Bring it full circle.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all the recommendations. Thank you for sitting down and chatting with us. This was a great conversation.
This was fun.
15 different directions.
It was fun.
And I think it all works really, really well. So yeah, this is great.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. It's like my first time really using my English to something that isn't just making memes with my friends and stuff like that, or making my own videos. So it's fun. It was fun. Let's do this more if you guys want to.
Would love to have you back for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Collaboration. It was fun.